What is going on, ladies and gents? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you another awesome video today. We are playing the Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and in today's video we are covering Isildur from KS Knightmare. I think I covered this commander 2 weeks ago in the early 40s, and now we're back max level 50, getting some epic PvP on. I've decided to cover this Isildur again. Like and sub, love you long time. Mwah. So, shout out to KS Knightmare with KSEL for this phenomenal Isildur he's got rocking and rolling. He has definitely killed me a few times this season. I've killed him as well, but he might have killed me a few more times than I've killed him. So, I'll give him a shout out. Also, shout out to Russ C, part of the Hobbiton HOA, for being a strong opponent and dominating their enemies all season long. This particular battle went Isildur's way. So, let's get right into it. Here we go. KS Knightmare's Isildur is running with +9 damage to range units. That's from this bow, that's from this helmet, and that is from this Wizard's Firework. This Wizard's Firework will also give him Pursuit, which means he will not miss for the first 3 rounds. The bow will also give 9% damage, so we're running with +9 attack and 9% increased damage from equipment, okay? We are resistant to burn with a little defense on the chest, all right? Skill point wise, we have the bottom R0 tree maxed out, 29 out of 29 points, giving you bonus damage from rounds 2, 3, and 4. Damage mitigation from round 1. Then we have Enfeeble for increased damage when afflicted by madness from consequence of greed, and or when the helmet does trigger, they will be afflicted by 40% increased damage received. Next, we have a few points into the King of the Dunedain. This is the R3 tree. This is going to be giving you a little bit of plus attack for your ranged men, as well as a little bonus damage against evil units. And lastly, the R5 tree is maxed out, 29 out of 29, folks, giving you 90% damage mitigation when your army's made up of men and elves for the first 7 hits as it slowly dwindles. And then Coalition will give your men maximum damage range and will give your elves initiative. That's very, very powerful. And then lastly, Free Peoples will give you a fantastic amount of damage mitigation. Okay, unit-wise, we're running with Moses Hunters, 2,000 Moses Hunters. I said Moses Hunters. Part the sea, baby. Here we go. Moses Hunters coming in hot and heavy. They'll deal some decent damage. Then we have Sentinels. These, of course, will be the highest sustained damage over 10 rounds unforgivingly. And lastly, the Sharpshooters will pack a dramatic punch in rounds 1 and 2 with their ranged advantage and the +2 attack from Isildur's Dunedain bloodline, okay? Against the enemy here is Sunind, okay? Sunind also has fantastic gear with a 5-star gigantic hammer, +6 attack to ranged, another +3 attack to ranged from Ranger's Shroud, +3 from the Hood with Madness, and +3 with Pursuit from the accessory for a total of +15 ranged attack, ladies and gentlemen. That is phenomenal. +15 attack, absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'll start at the bottom here. The R5 tree is maxed out, 29 out of 29, giving you a chance to trigger a heal every single round, giving you the ability to deal +20% damage to 2 units for the entire fight, with a 10% chance to stun them every round. And lastly, reserves. This is actually a pretty strong heal. I've been a big fan of this build over the past few days. I like this healing build a lot better than I like the top R0 tree and the R3 tree because, Quicksand gives phenomenal damage. The fact that Quicksand can give you +20% damage, it still rivals the damage output that you're going to get by averaging Whiplash over 10 rounds and averaging Panther Leader over 10 rounds. This is not far off the mark. Given you get a huge amount of healing to go with it, it's really phenomenal, okay? Let's take a look at the numbers here. So, it looks to me like 37,000 healing over the course of the fight from the R5 tree from Sunind. That is definitely worth the punch. The damage is below what I probably would have expected, while Isildur's damage is ginormous with very little damage received. And we all know that Sunind can deal this much damage in round 1, no problem, okay? So, my best guess for you is the damage mitigation provided by the Free Peoples combined with the damage mitigation from the last alliance probably gave Isildur an enormous advantage in the first 2 or 3 rounds, and those are the rounds that Sunind uses the Inspire ability to really dominate in. After Inspire drops off, starting in round 4, her damage gets cut in half. So, Last Alliance probably countered those mega nukes. Let's take a quick look, folks. All right. Okay, oh, I skipped the phase, sorry. Let me show you the overall average damage output for Isildur's units here. This is an Isildur video, as you know. 2,000 Moses Hunters, that's their new name, I've coined it. Pretty high damage per capita, actually. If you average their damage over 10 rounds, they have done more damage than the sharpshooters per command. They have 50% less command than the sharpshooters, and they only dealt 25% lower damage. In fact, they actually dealt higher damage per capita than the Sentinels as well, which is very interesting for me because Sentinels are the highest damage units in the game. There is a good probability that the Sentinels took some heavy damage early on and lost a lot of troops, which attributed to their low damage, it does look like that. So here we go. Like and sub, by the way. What are we doing? Happy Monday Fun Day. Yeah. I need help. All right. Okay. Here we go into the pre-battle phase. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Isildur triggering Enfeeble on the units, also triggering Consequence of Greed. What you might not know about this is Consequence of Greed applies Madness in the pre-battle phase. So the units go into round 1 with Madness, already afflicted. This is different from the top R0 tree ability, the Ring of Terror, which I'm a big fan of. I actually like that better than Consequence of Greed personally. However, this is one of the advantages of Consequence of Greed. All of the units will walk into round 1 with the Enfeeble debuff, whereas using Ring of Terror, it's based on the speed of the units. They get the Madness applied to them and triggered if and when they do attack or whatever, right? So, fun facts for you. This is Sun with plus 48.5% damage from Inspiration. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Plus 20% damage from Quicksand. I apologize. It is my bedtime. Coalition maxing out the Sharpshooter and the Moses Hunter's damage here. This is going to be enormous damage output. Sentinels with their initiative coming in hot and heavy with Pursuit, hitting Halberdiers for 21-8. Pew, pew, pew. Last Alliance, reducing any damage they take in return down to nothing. Okay, here comes the Moses Hunters, not hitting for as much damage. They're hitting for decent damage, but not as much as it would make them highest damage per command unit on the field. Although that's, I think, because they didn't take a lot of damage, right? Here is Sunin's reserve here, just healing away. That reserve ability is so powerful. I really love it. I can't speak about it. I can't speak enough good things about it. I think that reserve ability is the only reason why Sunin is even half as alive as she did. Because the amount of damage coming off of these Sentinels and Sharpshooters is crazy. I can only imagine what the Sharpshooters are at. Here comes the Dragoons hitting. There are the Sharpshooters. The Sharpshooters have out-damaged the Sentinels here in round 1, folks. 30,500, okay? A lot of damage output. And here's why Isildur definitely got the W. Even with plus 48.5% increased damage from Sunin's Inspiration, Isildur's Last Alliance reduced all of their damage in round 1. Well, first of all, the Arbalest did not get a double strike in round 1. So that probably hurt. But the attacks they did get off were only worth 4,500 damage. Just actually less than 4,500. 4,428 damage from the Morgul Arbalest in round 1. they dealt 13% of the Sharpshooter's damage output. Okay, just to compare, right? And here in round 2, naturally, Isildur will give another plus 37.3% damage to his units. Now, the one thing to note here, okay, is that the Enfeeble debuff from being debuffed with Madness will no longer give you a benefit as soon as the Madness drops off. So, the Moses Hunters are going to apply an Enfeeble empowered damage output because since the Dragoons have not attacked yet, and why are they faster? That is crazy. What is that? Let me just look at this. I just want to know. How are they? Because they give themselves initiative. This is really, really key, guys. In fact, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm just thinking out loud. You can get the enfeeble debuff on the enemy units for the first 2 rounds. No problem. If you attack before the enemy units attack in round 2 and their debuff falls off, which is what's happened here in round 2. That's so interesting. So it's making me rethink how I value. It's rethinking how much I value, I should say. Where's the freaking ability at? Oh my god, I lost it. It's making me rethink how much I value Consequence of Greed. Where is this freaking ability? Oh my god, I can't even find it. I don't even know. Consequence of Greed. It's making me rethink it. I'm rethinking how I feel about it, because if I'm using fast units that have initiative, I can still get the enfeeble bonus for the first 2 rounds against units that I'm faster than. So that means if the Wozus Hunters hit first, they get it for 2 rounds. If the Sentinels, who are all now Elven units, gain initiative from Isildur, then they will gain the enfeeble bonus for 2 rounds. Let's jump to round 2. I'm jumping all over. I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud to you, okay? So now the Wozus Hunters and the Sentinels could theoretically be dealing 37.3 plus the 40 from enfeeble. Okay. Did the Sentinels get Coalition? That's the question. Oh my god, they did not. The Sentinels would have dealt an enfeeble empowered attack in round 2 if they did trigger Coalition, which they did not. That's okay. So, Wozus Hunters are here to take a benefit, okay? And by the way, these are Dragoons. They already take reduced damage from ranged, okay? I'm just excited. I'm excited. All right. Here in round 2, okay, nothing is dealing any damage from poor Sunin. The Morgul Arbalasts should be hitting for like 30, 35k. They're hitting for nothing. These Wozus Hunters are just walking through the damage. Oh my goodness. Sharpshooters walking through the damage. Here comes the Sentinels hitting for 22.8. Sharpshooters for 20. Not too bad. And here in round 3, folks, we're going to see the damage start to even out a little bit. Hopefully, this poor Sunin is getting worked over. Sentinels 22.4. Wozus is punching a little more shallow. So keep in mind the Wozus Hunters they're now hitting a target without the 40% enfeeble debuff. Okay. Okay, the Sunin is plucking away at the Sentinels' last alliance, and she has just given feint to the Arbalest here. Let's see what that damage looks like. Morgul Arbalest with plus 25% damage. There's not a whole lot of them left alive. Only 2,300 left alive, but they are coming in with a Fury hitting for 13k, doing as good as they can. They got a double strike hitting for 11.8 right here. Not too bad. Who did the... Let me jump around. How long does this go to? Round 6? Let's jump down to the bottom. Let me get to round 6. Let's see if we can trigger Enfeeble again. I'm sure you do. So Isildur should be triggering Enfeeble again, since Isildur is going to trigger Madness from round 3. Sunin will also trigger Madness. Where is Isildur's? I'm moving too fast, guys. I'm moving too fast. Sentinels with initiative. When does Isildur go? Did Isildur go? In round 6? Did he not trigger Madness? Isn't he wearing a Madness helmet? He's wearing a Madness helmet. I guess the trigger... Oh, it's every other round. Yep. Pretend I didn't say anything. We'll trigger in round 5. That's alright. Well, listen. That's the fight, guys. It's getting late. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm rambling on. I apologize. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like and sub. Shout out again to KS Knightmare. Shout out to Russ C for being an unwilling participant. Great fights. And here's another good report for you that I'll just show you real quick. This is against an enemy Witch King, and he is not wearing the anti-burn damage chest in this video. He is wearing more plus damage. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the Witch King here did not compare in damage, which is crazy to say. Oh, because he did some madness. The Witch King did some self-damage. That will do it. Okay. Witch King did a good bit of self-damage, which probably didn't help a whole lot. Looks like he killed the Reapers. Looks like he killed his Reapers. And the Sharpshooters really massacred in this fight. Look at that. Okay. That's the fight. Love you long time. It's my bedtime. Randy out.